Okay, we're up to Mem Aleph on the base. Mem Aleph on the base. Uh, Parallel to the Taisus Echad Amid B'Shtei Shois, which is interesting because that is exactly the conversation we're having now. If uh, one of them says 2 hours in the day, one says 3 hours in the day, then the Edis is Kayim. One says three and one says five, then not. And Rabbi Yehuda says yes, but again, if it's midday, then not. Ad Kama, in other words, what was the svara? Why one would say two, one would say three? The second day of the month, the third day of the month. I said hours of the day. I didn't mean that. The second day of the month, the third day of the month. One knew about the Levana being in the last month being an Iber, so therefore it's the third day. And the other one thought that no, it was a Chaser, and therefore it's the second day. Now, ad kama, until how long could we go ahead and anticipate that they won't know? And it's ad kama that one would not know whether it's a chasur or a malay. Till the majority of the month. The majority of the month up till there, it's possible that a person can make a mistake. After the majority of the month, they're not. Look at Rashi, the with first medium wide line. Aval mikan ve'elach. After the majority of the month, one says on day 20, could have said day 16. 21. So in other words, they're off by a day. So until how long can we go ahead and ascertain if they're off by a day that one knew the previous month was chaser or malay? So they're saying by majority of the month, a person's going to know. Rashi, again, for some reason, picks day 20. They already heard by this time that the Chaydish was Ma'uber, and therefore, if they say 2 different days, then the Edis will be Batal. Then the Edis will be Batal. Until then, we can go ahead, until right in a month, we can be Toila that one did not know that the previous month was a Chasa. Amarava, Afana Namitanina, we also made that dig. Echadama Bishleisha, one says on day 3, the Echadama Behei, one says day 5, Edusim Betela. Vamai, Name Shazay Yodea Bishnei Iburim, Vizeh Ene Yodea Bishnei Iburim. Why don't you say that what? Maybe this guy is off by 2 months. It's he to know that there was 2 months difference, and he thought it's 3, and the other one said 5. In other words, I can explain the discrepancy of 2 days by saying that what? One didn't know the difference in the month. It must be that what? That since Roiv of the first month passed, there's no way that what? He could have made a mistake in 2 months. Guys, we can go, you're saying the following. 2 to 3, a person's going to make a mistake, right? 2 to 3, a person's going to make a mistake. Why? Because the previous month was Chaser according to the 2, and it was Malay according to the 3. Yeah? So now, why don't we say, so let's say 3 to 5. Why do we say it's no good? Let's say the same thing. Maybe this person was off by 2 months. In 2 months, they were off by 2 days. And the answer is because once Roiv passed by, you're not going to know. So l'chayra, you have a good raya from the Mishnah. Elad mishum de beruba yada, lo ilmei no. Lad mishum de beruba yada. I'll tell you beruba nami lo yada. However, ubi shipura yada. The chad shipura the toy betray shipura lo yama. They used to blow on Rosh Chodesh. It was they would blow if they would blow the shofar. So one shofar blew, the guy could miss, 2 he can't miss. But ain't nachinami. Because he doesn't know. In other words, he doesn't know the Chodesh, whether it was Roiv or Chaser. He knows whether he blew the shofar or not. That's what he knew. Rashi, 3 lines from the bottom. Shipura shofar hayatoikim b'kiddush hachodesh b'yom shu maskel hein malay hein chaser. Whichever day it began, they blew the shofar. V'zelei shama as a shofar. 1 month he'll be off by, and therefore you can make a discrepancy of 2 to 3. In other words, he can miss 1, so 2 to 3. But he won't miss 2, that you could say 3 to 5 in the next month. But in Achinami, a person, you don't have a raya to Roiv. You don't have a raya to Roiv. For Amrav Acha Bar Chanina, Amrav Asi, Amrav Yochanan, Ad Kama Mevorchim Al Chodesh. Now, it's fascinating, guys. A whole sugi of Kiddush HaChodesh, it's over here. This in Masechta Sanhedrin, this is the source for the halachas of Kiddush HaChodesh. Right here. They discussed they mentioned the word Kiddush HaChodesh, Masechta Sanhedrin runs with it. So, Ad Kama Mevorchim Al Chodesh, up until when can you go ahead and make the bracha on Kiddush, what we call Kiddush L'Chodesh or Kiddush Levana? At shetismale piki masa. until the pagam is male. So what is the pagam? If you go ahead, let's like this. This area that is missing this hole, if you will, that's called a pagam. So when the pagam is full, meaning when the crescent is full, then you can know that's up until then, according to Rav Yaakov Bar Idi, Amar Rav Yochanan at Shiva Nardoi at Shiva. Stop. In other words, 7 days would be. We know that the moon is full on 15 days, so 7 is approximately what, half. So you view it, guys. View as a like this, and you have a bowstring going across like a cash chest, like a archer's bow, and that until that time. So after that time, no longer we pass like the Nardoi. Nardoi Amri at Shisha Esa until the 16th, but not including the 16th. Up till the 15th, including the 15th, but not the 16th. Now Nardoi is gonna learn it's what? It's a full moon. On the 16th day, it's a full moon. So the Chavayu Krib Yochanan Sfir Lahu, and they both hold like Rabbi Yochanan. Again, Amar Avchina, until the pagima is full. Now the question is that they're disagreeing what's considered the pagima, right? Right. But Shavaya Kriv Yachan Srilu, Hol Mahave Ki Yisera. One should be like what, like a bow, and that's the opinion of what of Rav Yaakov Bar Idi in the name of Yehuda, and Hol Mahave Kinafia, like a calendar, like a round sieve, like a round sifter that they would use. So that's the machlokes. Amalei Rav Achami Difti Ravina, Ulevarech Hatoy VaHametiv. After all, when the moon shines, guys, think about it. We have electricity. In the days of yore, the moon was a source. A moon was a source. The famous Meister, it'll be famous now. Meir Simcha. Meir Simcha, his wife died, and he was well into his early 80s. He died at 83. At that time, he was really a very old man, and so they had Bachrim sleeping with him. So it was Friday night, and this Bacher was sleeping with him, and they ate the meal. The meal did not take that long, and Ramey Simcha sat down to learn, and he was learning. This Bacher was getting very, very tired, and the candle, didn't have electricity, I guess, and the candle burnt out, and he said, "Great, he'll be able to go to sleep." So he went to bed. He went to sleep. All of a sudden, he hears like a schlepping sound, and he doesn't know what to make of it. He walks into the kitchen. Ramey Simcha had schlepped the table over, stood up on the table. There was a moonlight coming in, and he was holding a sefer by the moonlight. He thought he was going to get some sleep. So I'm saying that they used to use the moon as light, right? They used to use the moon as light. So why don't we make Hatoy VaMeitiv? Why don't we make Hatoy VaMeitiv? After all, the moon, it's good for us. For the Gemara, if that's the case, atu ki chaser, when the moon is not out, when we're missing it, in other words, so when it goes away, should we make a dayan emes? For the Gemara, so make both. Since this is the way, we don't make a bracha. Let's see Rashi over here. The hainu urche. B'chol chodesh brias ha'olam kimin hagayhi ve'ein kan din puranius b'chesroina. It's not a punishment that it goes away to make a dayan emes. V'lo hatavasel lanu chesed b'miluasa. Nor is it a tava of chesed when it comes back. In other words, good we can have hana from it, but there's not hana that we can't expect, since it's normal. A tova native is something that is not expected, and somehow tova happens to you. But since this is urke, it's expected. We don't make a tova native, nor do we make a bracha about dayan emes. Anyone who makes the bracha of Kiddush HaChodesh in the time, ki'ilu mekabel pnei shechina. It's like what? You mean mekabel the pnei shechina. Anyone who makes it in the right time, it's like he's been mekabel pnei shechina. Ksiv hacha. What does it say over here? HaChodesh hazeh. We say HaChodesh hazeh lechem reish chadashim. I think this week's parsha, right, Dr. Rabbi Lavi? HaChodesh Hazel Chamesh Chodashim is Parshas Bo. Uksivasam Zeh Keli Van Veyu. Says so. We have Zeh. This is my God Van Veyu. But next week's Parsha. But the Yom they said Zeh Keli. They saw Hashem. So HaChodesh says Zeh. You see. So you see Hashem. You see Hashem. You Mikal Pei Shechina. Nasin Mem Beis Amid Aleph. Mem Beis Amid Aleph. Tanabei Bishmael. About 10 lines down. Il Male Zachu Yisrael El Kabel Pnei Avim Shar Shemaim Kol Chodesh V'Chodesh Dayom. It would be enough to see Rashi. Ilu Lo Yizacha LeMitzvah Cheres El Lezu. If we only zocha to the mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh, Shemekabel Pnei Shechina Pam Achas B'Chodesh Kidaminim Gezer Shavet. Like we say in the Gezer Shavet, that would be enough. That such a chashivas for Kiddush Levana. Hilkach Nimin Mu'umid. Therefore, since such a chashiv thing, right? We say mu'umid. We say what's standing. Maremu Marzutra Mekatfe. They were old and they were carried out. Umevarche, and they make the bracha on the levana. Omer Vachel Ravashi. B'marav Mevarche in Eretz Yisrael, they made the following bracha. Baruch Mechadish Kadashim. That's all they said. So Amalei. So they told him. Ravashi told him. Ravashi told Ravacha, if that's the case, Hay Noshi Didon Nami Mevarche. A woman also should make the bracha. And now we're going to go, they're going to go to the bracha, which before we get to it. Now, the Indian of Kiddush HaChodesh, you should be aware, is we all know that the moon was supposed to be big, Shnei Maros HaGedolim, Esamara Gadol, Esamara Kotin, and they bring, Rashi brings the Gemara in Chulin, that the moon was made smaller, of course they complained. But the whole Indian is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave is the fact that the moon comes around and it renews itself is kind of its relation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is very, very, HaKadosh Baruch Hu considers very, very chashiv. It does by Besh Chodesh, fellas, it doesn't say, it says Chatas L'Hashem in the parsha of the Kabbanis. It doesn't say Chatas, it says Chatas L'Hashem. We're bringing a chatas, a seah for Rish Chodesh for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that he made the moon smaller. That he made the moon smaller. It's the pious that HaKadosh Baruch Hu was able to mafias the moon. There's a relation. It's a relationship that he has. There's tremendous simcha associated with the Kiddush HaChodesh. The dancing. It's supposed to be a tremendous simcha. It's brought down la halacha that you're supposed to wear. We don't hold this way, but you're supposed to wear clothing, and you're supposed to be really. You're supposed to be mechubed very, very much. It's very right. So women are pata. The Magen Avram says because it's the mitzvah as man grama. Says Rav Ashi over here that if you just make mechadish kadashim, women can make that bracha. So we need a little hezbollah for that. So for this, I give you the Torah Chaim. It's a long piece, but we have time.
This is going to revert back to the sun later on, right? Mashiach films.
I'm not sure. I don't know. But I sent it out, guys. So take a look. It's a very, very nice piece. Blow it up. Amalei, Hay Nashi Didon, Nami Mevarchi, Lefi Shlei Hiska Ravacha Bebracha de Bnei Marava Shum Shvach Vaida Loi Yisparach didn't say anything about Hashem. El Bracha Ba'alma Machadish Chadashim Mashem Eschadish Chadashim Lekach. Heishiv loy b'bedichusa. Rav Ashi said to Rav Acha jokingly, "V'amaloi haynashi didon nami mevarche." They should also make that bracha. Mishum deisa b'Yushalmi hani nashi denehigi d'loylam me'evid avidasa b'reish yarche. Why don't women do avoda on Reish Chodesh? Min haga. V'isa nami b'pirka de Eliezer. V'fishlei ratzu anashim litein nizmeyem lebaleihem b'maisa egel. They didn't want to give their jewelry to their husbands during the egel. When they want to make the egel, Aaron said, bring the jewelry. The wives refused. Kodesh Baruch Hu scharan. Kodesh Baruch Hu gave him a schar that what? Sheyiyu mishmares Reish Chodesh yoisamei anashim. That they should watch Reish Chodesh more than men. V'nira shenaslem chag miyuchad. Tachas chag the egel. They got a special chag, tachas the chag that was supposed to be for the egel. They didn't want to make a chag. Shnemar chag laShem macha. Aaron said tomorrow is a chag, and they didn't want part of the chag, so Kodesh Baruch Hu replaced it. He gave him a chag. V'hainu dekamar hainu she'didon nami mevarche pirish bracha zu she'ein by shum shvach ela she'mevarchen laKodesh Baruch Hu she'nasan lanu roishe chadashim Birchas Noshim Hizu. In other words, this bracha Mechadish Chadashim says the Torah Chaim. Oh, you gave us Reish Chodesh? Then the woman should make the bracha, because after all, Reish Chodesh is the woman's holiday. It's Gewaldiger. In other words, if there's no Inyan of Shvach Vahidah, it's just a comment on the day, they should make the bracha Chadesh Chadashim, because it's their day. That's what Rav Ashi said to Rav Acha. Make that bracha. That's our day. Right. It's a simcha when it falls Reish Chodesh. They don't have to do work. Right? A woman, my wife never does laundry on Reish Chodesh. Right? You're not. Uma shekava lehem yom chag b'Reish Chodesh v'lo b'yamacha. Why were you covering the chag on Reish Chodesh and not another day? Nira lefisha nashim doimais l'lavana. This is really Hasidish. Women are compared to the moon. Shemischadeshes b'chol chodesh, because every month it renews itself. Kach hanoshim mischaschos kol shloshim yom. A woman, it changes every 30 days. Beveset shalahen, with their cycle. The roiv noshim yesh lehem veset shloshim yom l'shloshim yom. Most women have a cycle from 30 days to 30 days. Right? Don't repeat this when you get home today. Yankel, okay, when your wife asks you what you learned, don't say it. Ukishem she'hashemesh ve'yareach shavim nivru, they were created equal. Elish alvana kitrika, it complained. V'amra yefshi l'shnei malachim v'nismata, and it became smaller. V'kavalei HaKadosh Baruch Hu yom Reish Chodesh she'yaviu Yisrael kapara lefanav. Again, as I told you, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu on Reish Chodesh, you bring a kapara in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu kedei lefaisa, in order to appease the moon. Because again, what did the moon say? Just because I told you the truth, I should be punished. Kach ish v'isha shedoimim lechamu levana. A man and a woman who are similar to a sun and a moon. A man and a woman that's similar to a sun and a moon. Mitchila initially. Shavim, they were equal, nivru. Guys, just like the sun and the moon were created equal, so too man and woman before the chet were created equal. Shalaitiyeh ha'isha mishubedes l'bay l'klal b'malachtai. Again, don't say this at home. Women, initially they were not meshubah to the husband. There was no need to work before the chet. Everything was set up for Adam. The woman that you gave me, he nasnali mina right? Imadi pirish, right? Imadi pirish. Kivan sheshaninu shavim. Since we're both equal, lo yichalti lahashav paneha. I couldn't go ahead and answer her to say not. And since they sinned, they became smaller. Right? The woman became smaller than the man. And as a result, he rules over her. So just as the moon became subservient to the sun, the woman became subservient to man. The cover yoim piyusa, in which day Bereish Chodesh Dumya Levana, because the woman is similar to the Levana in the fact that what she was Pelagic, right? Pelagic. She was made smaller. They were supposed to be equal, but as a result of the chet, she was made smaller. Reish Chodesh symbolizes the miyat of the moon. Reish Chodesh symbolizes the miyat of the moon, and as a result of Reish Chodesh symbolizing the miyat of the moon, that's the day that was kaveya for the woman as a chag.
How can you say they were created equal if the woman came from the man, a rib?
Yeah. So in the creation, the reason why the woman came from the man was that Kadosh Baruch Hu wanted to have this special, unique relationship. Animals, let's say, for example, this is a Ramban Nasan. Animals were created from the ground separately. And therefore, all they do when they come together is they procreate. There's no special relationship. Most of the time, the male even lives away from the woman. But the unique relationship that exists between Ish v'Isha is only because she came from him. It wasn't the fact that she's subservient to him. In order to be together as one, HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that way. That's the reason. But it's it's a tremendous teher, guys. It's a tremendous teher. That, in other words, why dafka? So that was the reply. The Lamdasha reply. If you're telling me there's no shvach v'adah Kadosh Baruch Hu, it's just to mention Reish Chodesh. After all, that's the woman's day, Reish Chodesh. So therefore, and women are pata. So it's got to be more than just what I'm mentioning. That's pshat.
Talking about dynamics, off topic for a second, you shouldn't say it at home. Mishnah says that if you get married, you realize that your marriage is not what you expected. But it's a bad marriage. Say about dynamics.
Okay.
Try that at home.
No.
To answer Nelson's budgets, there's also
I answered it.
No, I know, but according to some, man and woman were together, and Hashem separated them.
But even so, she's subservient. Even they were man together. We saw it's Gemara Ksubas, Gemara in Erevin, but they weren't created equal. Even if she was back, she had to be vayiven. It says she had to be built up. Whatever that was, that Siamese twin, she wasn't complete. She wasn't complete. So it's I think the question is I think the answer is okay. So now we're going to go through the lashon of what we say all the time. Now what's the bracha you do make then? Okay. El Kedav Yehuda Marav. El Kedav Yehuda. Dam Rav Yehuda. Baruch Hashem b'ma'amarei. And with his words, Baruch Shchakim, he created the heavens. One of the seven heavens called Shchakim. Ubruach Piv Kol Tzavam. And with the spirit of his mouth, he created all the hosts of Shemayim. Choikus Man Nasan Lehem. He gave them their times. Shaloi Yishanu Es Tafkidam. They don't change their purpose. Sasim Usmechim. They're happy. Lasas Ratzon Koinam, to do the Ratzon of what? Of their master. Again, there's a concept of each creature by doing creation, but was doing what is created for is singing Shir LaHashem. We find it says that by Yehoshua, when he told us the moon to stop, he said, and the sun, he said, Shemesh begivain doim. Says the Medrash, he told the moon to stop, he told the sun to stop. So the sun said, I'm older than you. I was created on day 4, you were created on day 6. So Yeshua said to him, does an old Evet have to go ahead and listen to a younger buck? After all, it says Avram Avinu is koine shemayim v'aretz. So the son said, you're right. But I shine, by me shining, I'm singing Shir HaKadosh Baruch Hu created me for that purpose. So what did he say? Shemesh b'givay dam v'yirech alon. Us Yidaber Yeshua us done Yeshua us lashon us Yashia. Yeshua said, "You stop and I'll say Shira." You stop and I'll say Shira. So therefore, Sasan Usmeichim, it's beautiful, right? Sasan Usmeichim to do, they're singing Shira. This is my interpretation. There are others, but this is mine. That they were singing Shira by Sasan Usmeichim to do what they're supposed to do. Now it says over here with Sain Konim, the Ratzon of the Creator, Poyolei emes shepulasam emes. Truthful workers working truthfully. Now this is Poyolei, mean they're serving Hashem. Look at Taisus, fellas. Poyolei emes, Pirish HaKuntris, Shein Mishanenes Sidron. They're not Masada, they're Seder. They come up, the sun comes up, the sun goes down, moon comes out. The Istigaris, Poyol emes. Not Poyolei, but Poyol emes. That Kadosh Baruch Hu koi. It's going to Kadosh Baruch Hu. Shebe'emes ubedin miyata. That in other words, that Hashem was right in making the moon smaller. It's very amazing that a Kadosh Baruch Hu, we have to say that to come to Kadosh Baruch Hu, even a Kadosh Baruch Hu. Guys, I'll give you a marmokim. If you look at the first riff in Shavuos, it's a politic a dialogue between a Kadosh Baruch Hu and the moon. It's the first riff in Shavuos, and it's mamish a beautiful piece. Okay, anyway, says the Gemara Vaita. Continuing on, so Shepulas Memes Ulavana Amar Shetischadesh Ateres Tiferes Lamuse Baten. Ateres is lashon of what? Of crown. Tiferes, you are splendor. Lamuse Baten, like someone who's born from the womb. Sheinasidin Beschadesh Kamaisan. Ulefaer, to glorify Liyaisram. Hashem Kavod Machusai Brachat Hashem Bechadesh Kadashim. Okay, that's the nusach of the bracha. Now the pasuk in Mishlei says ki. This is also the reason why we're bringing this in, because it's the same statement about the same amoira. Ki betchulois taselcha milchama. With a wise advisor, you do war. We're not speaking about war. We're speaking about milchemes atayra. Amar v'achar Reb Chanina and Rasi of Yochanan. B'miyat ha'maitzi milchemes atayra. Who do you find milchemes atayra by? Misha yesh biyode chavilois. The lashon tachpulois, the lashon of chavilois of Mishnah. You have loads of Mishnayos, bundles of Mishnayos. Kari, he's able to read. So Kari Rabbi Yosef and Nafshe, Rabbi Yosef applied it to himself. The Rav Tvuas b'koyach shar, much perhaps come from the koyach of the shar. Again, he was a Sinai. He knew much Mishnayos and was the huge Rabbi Yosef. Okay, Echaram b'shtei shais. Right. One said in the second hour. What was the? We said a person will make a mistake in an hour, right? Echad Amar b'shtei shoyis v'echad v'shalosh shoyis edus kayemes. The edus will kayim. One says 3 hours, one says 5 hours not, and one says 5 and 7 then even Rabbi Yehuda would be Maida. Why? Because it's midday. Amrav Simi Barashi Loishanu Alashais. Avol Echad Amad Koidem Anetz Hachama. The Echad Amad Achal Anetz Hachama. A Dusan Betela. Because a person could tell the difference before Nates and after Nates. It says more Pshita, that's a Dover Pashit. That's a Dover Pashit. El Echad Amad Koidem Anetz, the Echad Amad Besoich Anetz. And one says what? During the Nates. Take out the word Besoich. The Echad Amad Bin Nates. Behan Nates. Hanami Pshita. So, Bar the Tema Hub Begiluya Koi. It's both speaking in the middle of Nates. Usahure Ba'almahud Chazi. And the one who said during Nates was really, right, it was really before Nates, but he saw the rays on the horizon and he thought it was Nates, and therefore the Eidah should be Mekoyim. Kamash V'lo, that a person could tell the difference. V'yachach Machnisim. We said, this is skipping to the end of the Mishnah. We said that a person who, let's go back to the Mishnah. Let's say one of the Talmidim, they would keep him up there, right? Mamish you skipped this whole Mishnah. He would keep him up there. If the Talmud said good, they would keep him up there, right? So guys, what does it mean? He came up with a good shot over here. So Shoini is going to die in forever. That's not the pshat. I mean, that day, that case. They wouldn't embarrass him by putting him down. Right? So, but afterwards they would. In other words, you're saying la'olam is mashma that why he stayed there forever. So Mabaya Tirgama, I am ein mamish bidvarav. If there's no mamish bidvarav, then they would keep him up, but they wouldn't keep him up forever. They would take him down after the court case was over. Matzalei schus. We said what happens, guys? That if it was a hung jury, what would they do? They would hung jury. I mean, the hung. What's the court? What? Hung Bezdin, right? So they would go ahead. And they would have halanas adin, and halanas adin mean you didn't go to sleep, and you had a chavusa shop with a dayan. You ate a little bit, but you didn't drink any wine, right? That's what we said. So now, yain my time aloi, amarav acha bar chanina amakra. The pasuk says ularoiznim a shecha. Now, what does the whole pasuk say? The pasuk says el hamalachim. Al lamalachim lemoyel al lamalachim shesayayin uleroiznim oy eishecha. But the roiznim, it says that the rulers should not drink. What is roiznim ein shecha? Ha'askim berazu shaloylam. Those are being oisik in the secrets of the world and the shama. Dinin fasha, which is if you look at Taisus. Right, but we're thinking about dinim. So Razei Olam is dinim nefashas because the chashivas of the person. Al yishtakru, person who is what is being oisik, but Razei Shalaylam should not get shikah. Okay, so Donan Elu Kneged Elu, they would go ahead and remember you're adding people 23, you're adding up to 71, and you're judging it. If you get to a point where at the point of 71 where you don't have the majority of two. Then you try the one who's we try to convince the one who's chayv. We try to convince the one who's chayv to be mizaka. Lo ura umay. Let's say the bottom line is everyone remains in their steadfast in their beliefs. Amravacha paichin I say he's off the hook. We pat to him. It's like, in other words, it's like sometimes you get a psak, and sometimes we can't kill the guy unless there was a psak. So if there's no psak, then paichin he gets off the hook, but not because it's different. It's like getting a pardon. You're guilty, but you got a pardon. That's really what it is. You don't know. In here, you don't even know. You don't even know he was guilty because you never got a psak. But patros, really patrim. Rabbi Yochanan, when I say, I'm going to papa labaya or lift meikara, right? Why don't we just let him off the hook? Why go through the whole thing? Let him off the hook. I'm a lehachi. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. You shouldn't go to bezdin me'urvavim. If he let him off the hook, people come along and they'll say it's a ganai for bezdin that there's machlokes and they don't know how to go ahead and complete a din. So therefore, we go through the protocol. Ikadiyami amalei papa labaya v'lomali yosifu lepatre mibeidina kama. Excuse me. V'lomali yosifu lifting medina kama. Fellas, what did we do? 23 to 71. You went up to 71, you let him off the hook. Let him off the hook at 23. Why go through the whole thing? At 23, you got 12 and 11, 12 chiv and 11, get him off, let him off the hook right down in there. So he told him, Rabbi Yossi, Abaya told Reb Papa, Rabbi Yossi kavasech. In fact, Rabbi Yossi held like you. The Tanya, Rabbi Yossi, Aimer, Kashem Shem Maisif and Al Bezn Shel Shiv Meyachad. Just like you don't add on to a Bezn of 71, Kachem Maisif and Al Bezn Shel Esem V'Shleisha. You don't add on to a Bezn out of 36. But what? You let the guy off the hook right away. You let the guy off the hook right away. Tarabanan. Aimer B'dinei Maminis Nizdak Hadin. By dinei maminis, we say nizdakin adin. We'll see what that means in a second. Ve'eino mi b'dinei nefashos nizdakin adin. My nizdakin adin, ilema kashdina. If you say that it's so difficult, and therefore we should delay, so ipcha, you should delay dinei nefashos and not dinei maminis. Mi boile. So am Rav Huna b'Rav Menayach mishmei de Rav Acha b'rei de Rav Ika ipcha chinami. Say nizdakin adin, we go ahead by dinei maminis. We won't say by dinei nefashos. We would say, well, because we want to delay. It's very hard. Ravashi Amal Oilam Loi Tepuch, Uman is Dakan Adin, is Chacham Dina. The case was wisely decided. So you don't say the case was wisely decided by Dinei Nefashos. You do say the case was wisely decided by Dinei Maminis. Meisivei, Gadol Shabayim Oimim, Nisdakan Adin. The Gadol Dayanim says, again, Nisdakan Adin. That's two things. Either a din is too old and hard, or because why it's you did wisely. Iyam B'Shlema. Chacham Dina, Bishlam you say was decided wisely. Hainudama Gadol. That's why the Gadol is praising it. El Iyam Kosh Dina. If you're telling me the din is so hard, like Sagi Deloy Omar Gadol, Kasufi Huda Michsif Nafshe, that you got the Gadol of the Bezdin. It's kind of a slap in the face that you couldn't go ahead and come to a conclusion. Yeah. So not only that he can't decide, but you make him to public, make an announcement. We can't come to a conclusion. Like, why embarrass the guy like that? Says we're in Enochinami. We'd rather him say it than someone else say it. Because why? It's much worse to be embarrassed by somebody else than to embarrass yourself. Very good. If you say kashdina, hainu de'ena daima misvayish me'atzma misvayish me'acherim. Eliyam mechacham dina gadol l'shvuchi mishabach nafshe. Right. So what are you saying? The gadol gets up and he says nisdakin din, meaning ich habe sehr Geschmack gepaskend, right? Right? Yalucha zar v'loy picha. Let a zar go ahead and praise you and not yourself. So Bishlema, so kashdina, we can understand why he gets up and embarrassed. So it's not as bad as he embarrassed himself as somebody else. But he told me he's getting up to say, the chadadina we paskin greatly. So what? He's getting up and praising himself. Says shiny milsa the beidina the agadol ramya. The Beidina, that's the bottom line is, everything is through him. The last Rashi in the Perik, Hagadol Ramya, Vafil Devarim Shal Shvachu Oimran, everything, every single word is said. So it's not a din of Yalel Chazol Picha. This is the protocol of Bezdin. So he's not praising himself. Every Gadol says everything. There's no one, no lower court, no lower judge. Gamru Esadavar, Hay Machlisas like Gamru Esadavar, they concluded Machlisas like Gadol Shabediayin Amar Ish Pleni At Zakai, Ish Pleni At Chayev. That's the din that he has to say. Hajalecha Haya Baitkin, Hajalecha Haya Baitkin, Hajalecha Haya Baitkin. Okay. Art Scrollers, Volume 2. Yeah, you have it. You have it, Nassim, from last time. Yeah, he has it. It's not. It's for tomorrow's daf. Okay. All right. Sag sich nicht. Nigmar Hadin. You had a Gemardin L'chayva. Might see, and I saw the cyclite. They would take him out to be stoned. Now, L'chayra, it's going on every Gemardin of capital punishment. Lav Dafka cyclite, says Rashi. Might see, and I saw the cyclite. I need the skila Reisha. Kula arba misas hui mafarsha mili dida paresha. Since skila is the number one of the arba misas bezdin, we're explaining it first. V'had mefarish shara bepirkin till it come on keseder. And we're going to go through each one, how the capital punishment was carried out, each one of the Einshim. We'll go through skila, then sreifa, then hereg, and then chenek. Okay? So we're beginning with skila. So they would take him out. Beis haskila hayachutz lebezdin. The Beis haskila, the place where they would throw him off, was outside of Bezdin. It was outside of Bezdin. Shnemar, the pasuk says, "Haitzias hamakalel." They took out the makalel. Again, this is right. This is the person who gesholt in Hakadosh Baruch Hu. They took out the makalel. Echad oimed al Pesach Bezdin. One person would stand at the opening of Bezdin. V'hasudarim biyadai, and in his hands there was a sudar. There was some type of banner. There was a banner. The Rambam says it was on a stick. V'sus rochak mimenu, and a person on a horse a distance from him. Kidei sheyehei ra'uhu, that the person on the horse could see the person holding the banner. Amar echad yesh l'lamed alav schus. If the one said in Bezdin, I can be lamed a schus now. Now this person is being marched out to the Beis Haskila. So halam meinif b'sudarim, the person standing by the opening of the court would raise the banner, would wave it. V'hasus rots, and their suits would take off. Umamidan. And Rashi's mashma, they would leave him there. Look at Rashi, fellas. Hala oimer al Pesach v'roichiv asus hoya makir boy who rots acher hamanhigim. They'd run after the ones leading him. Umamidam, and they'd stand them up there at sheyachru Bezdin till Bezdin could delve into the new taina of the person. Im tam b'dvarav shalzeh. So according to Rashi, fellas, the person who the psak was on is not being returned to Bezdin. Wherever he is, right? Wherever he is, we stop him there, and the Bezdin will paskin. They'll go ahead and get the new evidence, and if not, they'll just continue on. The Rambam, however, I looked up the Rambam. It's in Perik Yud Gimel Pasuk Aleph in Sanhedrin, Halach Aleph in Sanhedrin. It says, here's his lashon of the Rambam. Umachzer es hanidain lebezdin. Umachzer, he would return the nidin to Bezdin. So according to the Rambam, umamida means they would stop them from walking and return them. According to Rashi, they would stop them and they would stay there. So really, big difference in the protocol. And even if the guy himself said, "What I can lamed schus machzir and now everyone would agree, guys, machzir and because he has to testify, guys. It's very meduik the lashon like Rashi. Mamidin is mashma, they would stay there. Machzir and is mashma, since he's the one talking, and you're gonna have to listen to his tainas, you bring him back to Bezdin. Afilu arba v'chamesh pamim, even 4 or 5 times. Provided there's something to what his.
The base skill was a noticeable distance because of the reason that he could find reasons.
Yeah.
The point of mission looks like it was like in the backyard or something.
What's the Bezdin? Chutz the Bezdin.
It sounds like it's
Just wait till the Gemara. Ubeis haschila chutz the Bezdin hava v'suloi. It was only outside of Bezdin and not more than that. V'hatanya beis haschila haya chutz l'sholesh machanois. Now, fellas, in Yushalayim there were three clear machanois. Up till the Azora was machnas Shechina. Picture Shar Niknar and the Harabayas. That is machna Levia, and Yerushalayim is machna Yisrael. Okay, Yerushalayim is machna Yisrael. So the Harabayas machna Levia, the Beis Hamikdash proper after the Azora is machna Shechina, and Yerushalayim is machna what? Is machna Yisrael, and you would have to take him out of all 3 machnos to go ahead and kill him. So it's mashma over here, chutz lebezdin, you won't have to take him out of 3 machnos, just take him outside of Bezdin. Like Heshi's saying, chutz lebezdin, but not, whatever distance it is, it's not a great distance, right? But here it's mashma, it is a great distance. You have to take him out of what? 3 machnos. Good? Says the Gemara. In Kidduka Armin, it's like you say, that it's outside 3 machnos. For hadik tani hachi nafkamina. The Nafik Beidina v'Yosef chutz l'shalish machnos. Let's say Bezdin would go ahead and judge him outside 3 machnos. Avdin and Beis Haskila chutz leBezdin. You'd have to go still a distance away from Bezdin. Okay. In other words, fellas, let's say if he has to be out, let's say you're outside 3 machnos, and there's Bezdin a jurors there outside 3 machnos, and you judge him there. Could you kill him right there? Chutz leBezdin. You'd still have to go away. You still have to go away. And there's 2 reasons. What are the 2 reasons? One, that's great, right? No Bezdin wants to be known as a murdering Bezdin. No Bezdin wants to be known as a murdering Bezdin. So therefore, you have to take him chutz leBezdin, not to be mevayish Bezdin that you're killing the guy right then and there. Inami, that's like Heshi just said, in order to give him a chance that even more time to go ahead and find what? And find a reason to save him. Again, if it's Silas Ada, we do everything in our power. We do not want to kill a guy, so we'll delay as much as possible. Now, once there's a Gemar Din, there's no such thing as death row in Judaism. That day, we kill him. That day, we kill him. That's called, to keep him alive longer is Inoy Adin. That's why he said you can't judge him on Friday and kill him on Sunday, have a Gemar Din on Sunday. You know, you can't, you have, or do, no, I think, have a Gemara Din on Shabbos and then wait till Sunday to kill him. That'll be in a din because you're not killing him on Shabbos. He knows he's going to die. So that thing that taxpayers' money that goes to keep people on death row. The guy's on death row for how many years? It's a crazy amount of years. So yeah, I'm saying yeah. Anyway, so it says the Gemara. So now the Gemara till the end of the daf, fellas. Where's the source, fellas, for what? For guys, where's the source for 3 machnos? So little information in Vayikra Daled. We're introduced to the chatas hapanimiyos. These are chatas that are burnt, or paraman esrafim. Paraman esrafim. You're familiar with the Yom Kippur. We're not dealing with Yom Kippur. We're dealing with 2. We're dealing with the Kohen Mashiach, Vayikra Daled, which appears first in the parsha, and then the Kohen Par Helam Davish al Tzibur. If Bezdin Paskins in the din of Karis and a roiv of the Tzibur acts upon it, then Bezdin has to bring what? The part Helam Davish al Tzibur. Right, Ziknei, we said that we saw in the first Mishnah, first Mishnah in the first parak, right? How many machloikas, how many has to be there? Ziknei, Samchu, Ziknei, something. I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyway, it says by chutz lamachne, and it says, guys, it says chutz lamachne by one of them, and the other one says, and we learn out one from the other. So you would not have to say chutz lamachne the second time. So you're saying it a second time to teach me outside the second machna. And then it says by Trumas Hadeshen, you have to take out a third machna. So we're going to learn out from the 2 Paraman Esrafim and the Trumas Hadeshen, which was the first thing done every day. So let's see. It says, Menani Mili, how do you know 3 machnas? The Tanur Rabbanan. Hoitzi as Makalel or Michutz Lamachna. They took the Makalel, the one who benched Hashem, outside 3 machna. Chutz lamachne. Now, what does chutz lamachne mean? It means chutz legimel machnos. At oime chutz legimel machnos le'en elo chutz lamachne achas. When you read it, it says chutz lamachne. It's mashma 1. So how can you tell me 3? Nemra kami chutz lamachne. It says by the Makalel, the one who cursed Hashem, chutz lamachne. V'nema beparim anisrafim, and it says by the Helam Dover and the Kohen Mashiach, chutz lamachne. Mala halon, by the Helam Dover and the Kohen Mashiach, chutz l'shodesh machnos, you burn the korbanos chutz l'shodesh machnos. Afkan, you kill him chutz l'shodesh machnos. Okay, that's the final limud. We're going to question it, but that's the final limud. So just like we burn those parim outside 3 machnos, so too we're going to go ahead and kill the Makalel outside 3 machnos. Now, how do you know by them that it's 3 machnos? By the param nisrafim, the hasam by the param and nisrafim inolon, the Tanur Rabbanan. It says this is by the Kohen Mashiach. It says v'hoitzi es kol apar el michutz lamachne, and you should take the par chutz lamachne. What does that mean? Chutz l'shalish machnes. It means you take the par by the Kohen Mashiach outside 3 machnes. Ata oimer chutz l'shalish machnes le'ene elo chutz lamachne achas. Maybe means 1. Kishu oimer. It says by the Helam Dover, guys. What does it say by the Helam Dover? El michutz lamachner b'para eda shein tamid leima. You didn't have to say chutz lamachner by the pelam davar. Why? Sheikh Nemar, because you already said the soraf oisai kasher soraf is para rishain. Guys, you're going to burn it the same place you burned the Kayin Mashiach. It already said chutz lamachna by Kayin Mashiach. Why does it say chutz lamachna by Helam Davar? To add another machna. To add another machna, because you don't have to say it. Once you told me you're burning the Helam Davar in the same place that you're burning the Mashiach, I know it's chutz the one machna. So why does it say chutz lamachna by the Helam Davar? To add another machna. Now we just need one more. So, litain le'machne shnia. Ukesho oimer el michutz lemachne b'deshen. When it says chutz lemachne by what? By the trumas hadeshen. Shein tamid leimar. Sharik farnemar el shefach hadeshen yisaref. It says ad makom shefach hadeshen you burn it. Litain le'machne shlishis. This gives me a machne shlishis. Okay, that's a given. So guys, we're going to ask a question, but that is the final teretz. The way you learn mekalel where from Parnas Rafim. And how do you put on the Srafim? Because you have one chutz lamachne, an extra one, and then you have deshen. So now, guys, look at View me. I'm in the Makalo in the middle. I'm going to put on the Srafim. We're going to say, why don't you go ahead and learn from Shchutei Chutz? If you have a korban and you don't bring it to the Beis HaMikdash and you shecht it outside the Beis HaMikdash, you chayiv kares. And that's like one machne. So why you opt to put on the Srafim for 3? Opt for what? For compare the Makalel to Shchutei Chutz. And that's outside one. Very geschmack. Says the Gemara. Fred Gemara Kasha. V'leilef mishchutei chutz. Let's learn out the Makalel from Shchutei Chutz. Mala halon. Just like Shchutei Chutz l'machna achas. Guys, you chayiv kares if you shech the korban outside one machna. Afkan by Bezdin killing the Makalel chutz l'machna achas. Says the Gemara mistabra mi param nisrafim. There's more of a svara to compare the Makalel to param nisrafim. Havilei lemelef shekain, and here the Gemara is going to give. This is a simanim shekain haitza. It says by haitza. It says haitza and Makalel. It says haitza by what the param nisrafim. El michutz lamachne. It says it doesn't by shchutei chutz. It doesn't say the word el. It says el michutz lamachne by the Makalel, and it says el bechutz lamachne by the param nisrafim. Right? Machshir, guys. When you're burning the param, are you putting in the place that it's supposed to be? When you kill the guy, is in the place you're supposed to be? When you shech the korban shchutei chutz, it's not in the place it's supposed to be. This is the huge difference, guys. This is tremendous difference, right? In other words, Parnas Rafim, you're in the right place. Makalo, you're in the right place. Shchutei chutz, you're in the wrong place. Umechaper, and the shchutei chutz and the Makalel is getting his kapara by getting killed, and the kabonis are mechaper by being burnt. So therefore, it makes sense with these four comparisons. Hutza, El Michutz Lamachne, Machshir, and Mechaper to compare the Makalel to the Param Nisrafim, and 3 Machanois, rather than the Shchutei Chutz, that these things do not exist, which is only one Machne. Says the Gemara Adarabba, Mishchutei Chutz Havilei Lemelech. Let's compare it to Shchutei Chutz, fellas. Shekain Adam. Hey, 1 second. You're comparing killing a man to burning animals? Shchutei Chutz, who's chayev? The guy who shechts. So at least there's a major comparison. You're comparing a guy getting killed to a person killing himself. Chayta, right? They both sinned. Binishama, you're killing guys. Shchutei Chutz, you're killing the animal, right? And over here you're killing the person. You're killing the animal, you're killing the person. Let me see if that's the shama is correct. Neshama michutz lamachne shel shneihem yitilas neshama. No. I'm sorry. Both are getting killed. The guy Makal is getting killed, and the guy who's shechting is getting killed. He's going to chayiv kares, so it's not going in the animal. I sit corrected. So it's going on. It's going on the fact that both are getting killed. Mashen came param nisrafim. There's no misa there, so I have reasons to compare the Makalel, the one getting killed, in Bezdin to what? To Shchutei Chutz and one, and you'll be only answer one machne. Says Gemara, another is Pigel. Pigel exists what? It only exists by what? It does not exist by Shchutei Chutz. It does not exist by Makalel, but it does exist what? By Parnas Rafim. In other words, if you shecht it Chutz L'zman, Chutz L'makom, right? The Parnas Rafim are going to be puzzle. Mashen came by Shchutei Chutz, there's no Machshava, and by Makalel it does not even apply. And for the Gemara, Machshim and Machsha Adif, not Machsha Lei, Adif Lei. In other words, in the comparison department, fellas, if you're going to go to the Parnas Rafim for 3 and the Makalel for 1 and the Shchutei Chutz for 1, it still makes more sense. Shchutei Chutz is in the wrong spot. Parnas Rafim, they're in the right spot. Makalel, they're in the right spot. Being in the right spot to learn, what are we learning? We're learning spots. We're learning 1 spot or 3 spot. Since the spot machshir is the ikka reason, it's more comparison what to Shchutei Chutz and 3, Parnas Rafim and 3 than Shchutei Chutz and 1.